Today we are investigating this weird rabbit hole that I went down where I found like not only one profile like this, but a chain of profiles. Like this is a whole genre of super dark, creepy profiles on TikTok, YouTube, other social media. It is so creepy. And that is specifically the slingshot ride, the slingshot amusement park ride, videotaping young women and, dare I say, girls on these rides and then making profiles devoted to showing only this. In today's video, I'm going to give you the rundown on these profiles. We're going to watch some of the videos together. However, I will be censoring the women's faces. And then I'm going to explain to you why this is not only just so wrong, but the evidence that I have that makes me believe that something pretty nefarious is happening here, which disturbed me to my core. I couldn't make these videos without support from sponsors, so we're going to take a very, very quick ad break, but I will be right back with you. For years now, I have been meaning to make an appointment with a registered dietitian. My GI doc has been bugging me to do so for quite some time. The reason that I have been putting it off is because the thought of sitting down trying to figure out which provider to even see and which one has actually good reviews, figuring out the scheduling, figuring out if they take my insurance, and then after all that, having to call the office to try to figure out how to make an appointment is just so daunting. And like all of you, I'm just busy. There's a lot on my plate and it feels really overwhelming to try to figure all that out. But today's sponsor, ZocDoc, has solved all of these issues for me. ZocDoc is a completely free website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click to instantly book an appointment. I just put the type of appointment that I was looking for, my insurance and my area, and a huge list of registered dietitians with excellent reviews from like verified patients came up. And there was a ton of telehealth options, so I don't even have to drive anywhere to go to my appointment. I picked an August 20th appointment that I booked right through ZocDoc, no phone calls, no other shenanigans. But the provider that I found also takes my insurance and has immaculate reviews. And I know they're immaculate reviews because ZocDoc only allows reviews by verified patients. If you need something even quicker though, ZocDoc typically has appointments available within 24 to 72 hours of booking. And in some cases, you can even score a same-day appointment if you need that. Our mental and physical health should be our number one priority. So stop putting off that appointment that you've been putting off for months. I'm looking at you. And go to ZocDoc.com/HannahTheHorrible to find your in-network top-rated provider today. That's ZocDoc.com/HannahTheHorrible. And thank you again to ZocDoc for sponsoring today's video. So what is the slingshot ride? For those of you in countries where amusement parks are not very common, or those of you who are like me who hate rides and roller coasters and are not adrenaline people, the slingshot ride is basically a reverse bungee jumping ride. So it's one or two people strapped into this little chair and they are literally like a slingshot shot into the air and then they bounce up and down, which literally looks like my personal hell, but I understand why a lot of people like rides like this. It's a unique ride. It looks genuinely terrifying, which for people that are adrenaline junkies do like stuff like that because they're in a almost completely safe place, except they get to experience something that would be very dangerous in any other scenario. Now, through my research on this video, I did discover, and I didn't know this, but I did discover that a lot of women, especially with this particular ride, have reported enjoying this ride for reasons other than adrenaline, if you get what I mean. Something about the way the straps are all positioned and the way the ride moves and the motion of the ride, many women have reported that it makes them, I can't say the word on YouTube, but it starts with an O. There are a lot of these videos posted for comedic purposes, not for exploitative purposes, where the women have this reaction and a lot of people are just like, where can I find that ride? Or how can I get one of those rides in my house kind of jokes and stuff like that. And a lot of anecdotes of actual women saying that this happened to them. Now, there's a reason I'm telling you that a lot of people experience that. That in itself is all fine and good. It happens, we shouldn't be embarrassed about stuff like that. Honestly, I love that for them. But then, of course, because cis men be cis menning, this phenomenon then eventually, of course, turned into content. Now, I apologize for the censoring in this video. I do not like censoring my language, but sometimes I'm on thin ice with YouTube, so I do have to be extra careful. So when I say that word, this on the screen right now, I am going to say F content. So of course, because this kind of turned into an F content genre, of course, people then had to exploit it and try to get views off of it. So of course, as this kind of became its own little niche genre, people then had to make TikTok and YouTube accounts devoted to it. So there are TikTok and YouTube pages, I'm sure there's Instagram pages as well, that post this and nothing but this. And you will understand why this is aimed at a particular audience in a minute. It is devoted to showing only the most outrageous reactions from only women and young girls. There's definitely teenagers in there. And another theme of these videos is that there is almost always a wardrobe malfunction, that combined with them being scared and having crazy reactions on these rides. So we are going to watch some of these videos together. I'm going to be blurring everybody that I show in this video, and that is because I am not positive that every single one of these women are over the age of 18. I might also have to censor some of the wardrobe malfunctions because, as we know, these things can exist all over the internet and the platforms will never take them down, but God forbid you call them out and all of a sudden they get their panties in a bunch about that. So I do, again, apologize for having to censor some of this out. I think you'll still understand what we're looking at here.
No!
Okay, so you get it for that one. So hashtag tan lines is the first hashtag. Slingshot challenge, roller coaster, fast and furious. Let's just look at some of the comments, shall we? Alex05, and I'm going to be blurring out the faces of the women, but not of the users who are posting creepy comments on this. Alex05 says, I love Gravity. Some other creep said, I saw a piece of it and I had to censor this out, but this poor girl's shirt goes down. There's a wardrobe malfunction. Marshall said, best video I've seen all day. Brick by Brick 321 says, so close. And this video has almost 9,000 saves on it. On that one, Steve says, I love air. James Harris with a bunch of numbers says, those are really nice. Humble as a lie, with little crosses it looks like by their username, by the way, says, do anyone see her face? No? Looks like a fun ride, says Philly95. True Naturals. RJ says, slips? And Mr. Slingshot says, search Telegram. Here's RJ, by the way, posting that. This video has 13,000 saves. That guy's a little bit more subtle about his captions, but there's other profiles that are really creepy in their captions. So like one, this wasn't the glow up she expected. Her shirt flew higher than she did. She got launched and exposed. This ride did her so dirty. I see other ones where it just says like, cute girl, pretty girl on a ride and like with hearts and shit like that. It's so creepy. This next profile is from Slingshot Fun. And conveniently, this profile has their comments turned off. This one that I also found on this profile says best friend, and I am heavily blurring them here, but these two are not over 18. These two girls look 12, if not maybe 14. And like, look at the profile picture. This is just so obvious. So you get the idea, right? That's the vibe. That is every single video is exactly like that, with if the comments are on with creeps in the comments. Now, you know that I do not shame on this channel. If there's any sort of adult themes, if you get what I mean, I am fine with it as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. That is my motto. As long as everybody is safe, consensual, and happy and consenting adults, then it's none of my business. I really don't care what you do. Literally, no matter what the thing is. But the reason that I'm calling this out is because I do not believe that this is consensual. I do not believe that these are all adults, and I have a lot of problems with this. I think that this is pervs and potential predators commenting and watching and consuming and saving all of these videos. And I don't think anybody can deny who these videos are for. Clearly, they are picking a certain demographic of women to be in these videos. They are all young, attractive, very young women, and often teenagers who you have no proof that they are of age. There's rarely a man in these videos, and if there are, they're sitting next to a woman who's the focus of the video. I know you can't see their faces, but their facial expressions and the sounds that they're making is also very clearly intentionally posted for this reason. Now, my issue is not boobs. A lot of people love boobs. I totally get that. My issue is, how did they get this footage? The first big problem with this is that there is absolutely no proof or real indication that anybody in these videos have consented to being posted online at all, let alone in this way specifically for creepy men. It would be one thing if this was somebody's OF account and they took videos of them going on rides and they posted it on their own OF account for people that enjoy this kind of content, and they are knowing they're being filmed and over the age of hopefully 21 and posting this online on their own free will and wanting to do it. Unfortunately, there's very little information about this online. I couldn't find anything about how they're getting all these videos. I did find one Reddit thread discussing this whole weird phenomenon. One user said, while it's super creepy if the ride operators make people sign a waiver that they're being recorded and that they consent to it being uploaded to the operator's TikTok, I doubt there's anything YouTube can do. I assume such a waiver is in place because why else would they record everyone? I don't know if this person's speculation is accurate or not, but I do believe they're on to something. A lot of slingshot rides and other amusement park rides have built-in cameras on the seats. And they do that because they can say that it's for souvenirs, right? And that is true. People get filmed on rides and then you can buy a picture of yourself or the video of your reaction to the ride as a souvenir afterwards. It's another way for the amusement park to make money. Most places also don't let you bring your own phone and film yourself on the ride with your own devices for obvious safety reasons. They can't guarantee that they're secure, and they also, of course, want you to buy the video. They don't want you to make your own. So likely when you sign up for the ride, you are probably consenting to at least being recorded. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If you've ever been on these rides, tell me in the comments, did you sign a waiver saying that it's okay that you're recorded on these rides? Even if they did sign something like that, I would imagine it is phrased/framed as it would be for advertising and social media promotion purposes. I highly doubt that even in a world where they consented and signed a form to be filmed and to have it posted online, that they thought and they were well aware that it would be posted on these kinds of profiles for pervs to ogle at them. I sincerely doubt that that 18-year-old girl in the video, or potentially younger than that, signed something like that. Likely, most likely, and I don't know this for sure, this is speculation and opinion, but most likely the ride operator is going through all the footage at the end of the night, picking out girls and women that are the most attractive and that have the most revealing clothing and have the best reactions, and they are handpicking those out to then post online or to share with other people who then post them online. And then they know that most likely the woman or the girl will never see this video be posted online. These don't tend to go like massively viral. Some, don't get me wrong, a lot of them have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and there are several with millions of views, but these don't usually get talked about very much. So I think they assume that they will either never see themselves be posted online, or if they are, taking legal action against an amusement park would be extremely difficult. Think about the amount of money the amusement park has. If you did sign a waiver saying that you'd be filmed and there was something in the fine print, it would be very hard to actually take action against these parks for doing it, even if they found out. The thought of some creepy old going through footage at the end of the night, looking at potentially underage girls riding rides like this, and not only enjoying it, if you know what I mean, but then taking it and posting it online / sharing it with people that post online is so, that makes me sick. Now, the second reason that this is obviously inherently wrong, which I already alluded to, is that I am almost positive that at least some of these videos depicts minors in these situations. I found one of these. There was a girl who looked very young but still had braces, so I can't imagine they confirmed that she was over 18. I found one on a Twitter account of a literal prepubescent girl in this situation. They literally posted that on Twitter, and I tried to report it, and Twitter was like, doesn't violate anything here. But of course it didn't. What else did you expect? I report shit all the time and nothing is done. And then just other videos I found where, like, maybe they're just really, really young looking 18 or 19-year-olds, but I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that they are confirming that before posting it online, because if they are likely posting these online without the person's consent to begin with, at least without their consent of knowing exactly what it's being posted online for, if they're willing to exploit them in that way, I highly doubt they care if they're minors or not. But then I was looking at one of these pages and I found somebody promoting their Patreon. So it's not bad enough that they're exploiting people, posting them likely without their consent, sometimes posting minors without their consent or parental consent, but then at least one of them is also trying to profit off of the exploitation of this. Hi, editing Hannah here, really just popping in here really quick to let you all know that as I was editing this video, to my surprise and, let's be honest, total delight, this Patreon that I'm about to talk about has been removed from the Patreon platform. I don't know if they just removed it because they weren't getting anybody signing up like I talk about later, or if Patreon actually removed it. I had not yet reported it yet, so it wasn't me if they did get reported, and reporting on Patreon is more of a complicated process than it is on other places. But yeah, so in this next section of the video, I can't show you like everything that I'm reading off of my phone because it's been deleted and I was dumb and didn't save it all. I have some of the images I talk about are archived on Google so I can find it, but sometimes when I'm looking down at my phone and reading off, I can't show it on screen as well. And just know I was reading off their Patreon at the time before it was deleted. And I have since found another Patreon that I'm pretty sure is exactly the same, like connected to this account. They have almost the exact same posts, and I reported that one earlier this evening. So hopefully that one will also be banned from the platform soon too. So just FYI, as we get into this section, this Patreon that I'm about to talk about has since been taken down. Thank God. When you go to this Patreon that I found, to my absolute horror and disgust, there is an AI picture of a very young looking person as the profile picture. Nobody can convince me that this isn't supposed to look like a child. And look at the banner. What the actual fuck? It's not explicit, but why? Why is there a child being promoted at the top of this Patreon? Now, I was not about to pay for a membership to figure out what this person was posting. Did I think about it? Yes, I legit thought about it. I thought about just throwing down a few dollars to investigate this further, to see what the hell they were posting and hopefully have a better case for reporting it. Obviously, I decided not to do that in the end because I just could not sit with the fact that I would be financially supporting this person at all. And I also, of course, didn't want to get in any legal trouble just in case. But this person obviously doesn't have a lot of patrons, which I will get to in a second too. So if I went on there, it would be very obvious what I was doing anyway, and they would probably block me immediately. But I think with the titles alone, we can see what's going on here. The majority, as you can see on here, is just slingshot moments. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, announcement about upcoming content updates. This was posted on May 16th. I'm exploring a new visual direction, nude art, changing room, spa room, natural moments, wellness, and public spaces like nude beaches and retreats. These stories are quiet, raw, and often too intimate or bold for public posts. Full sets, uncensored content, and behind-the-scenes video are available for VIP and SVIP supporters. Curious? Unlock more, yada, yada, yada. So they're straight up admitting here that they are posting voyeuristic content of public places. That like inherently means that they are not getting consent from people to post these nude beaches. They're filming people on nude beaches, changing rooms. Changing rooms are inherently supposed to be private spaces. You cannot say you're getting consent from people to post that there. It's not a porn site where it's all set up, right? This is clearly somebody being a voyeur and looking to post online and try to profit off of it. A lot of this is inherently non-consensual. But then if you scroll down to the first post, this is what really chilled me to my core. VIP access instructions, May 13th. Thank you so much for your support. To enhance your experience and stay in touch more easily, I also offer a private Telegram channel. So let's talk about Telegram for a second. We mentioned this earlier when in the comments, a creator was promoting their Telegram. Now, Telegram is a messaging app where you could share, I think, text and video and audio messages, I believe. I don't know. I've never been on Telegram, but they are very focused on privacy and encryption. It's kind of like a Tor or an Onion app is kind of what it is from my understanding. So Telegram is so shady. Telegram refuses to cooperate and actually team up with the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, or for short, NCMEC, whereas every other social media platform, they're actually signed up for NCMEC programs. So YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of those social media platforms are actively will work with NCMEC to take down material. At least they do cooperate when NCMEC is investigating or when something like that is going down. They are signed with or in partner with NCMEC. Telegram refuses to do that. They will not sign with NCMEC. While Telegram claims on their terms of service that all of this type of material is, of course, not allowed on their platform, every platform has to say that because it's literally illegal, so every platform says that. But Telegram says they don't allow that, but allegedly, Telegram is a breeding ground for PDFs. This is why content like this they always have a Telegram. It's a sign because it's a private encrypted network where you can go on there and request stuff from people, from the sickos on there. Literally any underground online network trying to spread illicit materials always has a freaking Telegram. Which to me, if Telegram is so innocent like they claim they are, and that they claim that none of this is allowed and they take it very seriously and yada, 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 if they claim that, why does everybody go to them first? Why does everybody who has nefarious intentions use them then? Why are they notorious for this? Allegedly, in my opinion, just asking. So this Patreon who's trying to make money off of this has a child as their profile pic, even though it's probably AI. They have an AI image for their banner, and they have a Telegram, and it's all adult-centered content. I have no proof. I am speculating here. However, in my opinion, based on what I know and the digging I have done, this is creepy and suspicious at the very best. The one hopefully good thing is that this Patreon page has no engagement. If you look, there is not one heart on any of the posts. And if you go to another Patreon page that you're not subscribed to, if you go to anybody's Patreon, I went to a few that I'm not subscribed from, you can always see the heart count, right? If you're signed out of Patreon or if you're not a member of the page, you can see how many hearts and sometimes how many comments are on a post. The post is not visible because it's paid content, right? Go on my Patreon right now and you'll see that. And I looked, because I have my own Patreon, I looked to see if I could turn off the hearts. So like, did this Patreon person say not want hearts visible to the public? And I did not find a way to do that. I went on the back end, went through my Patreon settings. The only thing you can turn off and on is you can show how much money you make on Patreon, or you can turn that off. You can also show how many members you have on Patreon, but you can also turn that off so that's not publicly visible. I could not find anything that showed where you could turn off hearts. Now, if you actually make a post on Patreon, I'm showing you a test post here right now. If you actually make a post on Patreon, there is an option if you go through the settings to turn off comments so that people just can't comment at all. But I found no indication that you could turn off hearts. So what this tells me is that hopefully this Patreon page doesn't have any members. Hopefully this means that absolutely nobody has actually gone and paid for this Patreon, let alone signed up for the Telegram. I don't know that for sure, but I'm hoping that that's what that means by the fact that there's no engagement on any of the posts. My other hope for that is that they haven't posted since June 7th and they only posted for a couple months. So I do also hope that is an indication that nobody actually signed up for their Patreon. It's possible nobody signed up for their Patreon, you know, like even when I had a very engaged audience and had less than 100,000 subscribers, I think that's when I started my Patreon. But it is hard to get a Patreon following going if you don't really know what you're doing. And with a faceless profile like they have, I wouldn't be surprised if they had 0 members. I think this was maybe somebody trying really hard to exploit these women even further and make a dime off of creeps, but it is quite possible that they have 0 members, which is good. However, I do think that this should be taken down. We can also report all the other pages on TikTok and Instagram as much as we want and as much as we can. I don't think it's going to do anything. I have reported, like I said, I tried reporting a literal child on one of these videos on Twitter, and they said, didn't find any violations. I'm going to go and report as many as I can. I encourage you can, but there's no proof that these are minors, and I don't think that they're going to do anything about it. Why? Because they have plausible deniability. That is always what it is. When there is adult content being hidden on social media, there is always the element of plausible deniability. That's how they get away with it, because we can report it all they want, but the platforms cannot prove that it actually should be taken down or actually violates community guidelines. They have plausible deniability. It's so freaking annoying. If they get reported, they can appeal it. They can come back and say, like, what do you mean? We're just posting innocent content of people on people like living vicariously through others on the internet. Like, that's why we watch vlogs. That's why we do this and that. And that's why we like watching stuff, is because we're like living vicariously. And so people just like to do that with roller coasters. People like to live vicariously through people on I don't know what you're talking about. If people are taking it that way, that's not my fault. I'm just posting these fun little videos. Like, let's face it, YouTube will most likely demonetize me at the very least in a few days just for talking and calling this out and raising awareness of it and trying to get people to get these kinds of things taken down, because I do believe minors are involved here, but they're not going to do anything just because I am somewhat explicitly saying what they are really doing here. But like, there is corn all over YouTube, all over TikTok, way more explicit stuff than I have even talked about. Like, go watch some August the Duck videos. He's done some videos on this recently of how there's literal corn on YouTube and YouTube does nothing about it. They leave them all up. They're like, they're not doing anything wrong. But then when he calls them out, he gets in trouble a lot. It's not just me. He gets in trouble with YouTube all the time for calling them out on allowing this, but not actually taking any of the actual material down. It's so backwards. It is so messed up. It's almost, allegedly, in my opinion, it just seems a little bit like they don't want people raising awareness about this kind of stuff because it's making them money and it's painting them in a bad light. They would really like it if this content could just exist and if we could just, look the other way and never call it out or never try to protect the non-consenting people that are being exploited online without their knowledge. It's almost like they don't want us to talk about that. It's almost like they want it to exist, but they don't want us to actually call them out on it. I am never, even if I get 2 million subscribers on this platform, YouTube will never invite me to VidCon. Just saying. I am way too in the doghouse with them because I call them out too much. They don't. I like, it's so hard because I do love YouTube as a whole and they obviously pay my bills. But just because I used to work at Jimmy John's and they paid my bills doesn't mean that I don't have issues with the management. You know what I mean? So it's just really messed up that they won't take constructive criticism and won't put more resources into taking legit problematic stuff like this down when we know they have the money and we know that they have the resources. Speaking of calling that stuff out, like I said, I do have a Patreon, and right now the very popular thing on my Patreon page that people have been flocking to is that I am doing this not safe for work iceberg on the page. And just to be clear, it's not safe for work content in terms of me. I'm not showing anything explicit. I'm just there's a little bit of explicit because it's posted on BitChute and Dropbox now, but it's not my not safe for work content. I am not that kind of creator, but it's me going through this iceberg and it's getting very dark. Parts 1 through 6 are up right now and available to watch once you join at the mid-tier or above. I'm also getting a lot of questions about that. I'm sorry, it's only mid-tier and above. And mid-tier is just $5 a month. Over there, we also do watch parties every month. We have some polls. We have a private Discord server. We do early access, not every single video, but every couple videos. So if you want to watch me be completely uncensored in my language and be quite crass and talk about the very dark side of human, of adult themes, then go subscribe at the mid-tier or above over there. So thank you so much to all of the patrons over there. I do give a special shout out for the top alien tiers, any new members at the end of my videos. So the new alien tiers this week are Taffy Sam, thank you so much for joining, and Nikki, thank you both so much for joining at the alien tier. So that's going to be it. Thank you again to ZocDoc for sponsoring today's video, and I'm going to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, bye.